Is Zohar Al Pshat day 188. A fascinating Zohar today. Daf Chafal from the base. Uh, uh, we're going to go back a line. About a little bit more than halfway down the page. Start about 21 lines from the bottom. Going back a bit. V'achidon dabeda. Going to Ilan Achidon. Everything is connected. Moshe, we spoke about Moshe, Aaron, and Shmuel. But now we're going to connect everything. In the personalities which are represented with represent the spheros. It's like Moshe and Shmuel are connected, so too the following are connected: Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef. Now we're going to go back and forth here between the esoteric Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef, and the real Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef. But the primary focus here is on Yaakov, Moshe, and Yosef as Tiferes, Netzach, and Yisod. The problem is that Aaron doesn't appear here, but okay, Moshe represents in this case Netzach and Hod. Moshe Aaron. So it's inseparable, and Moshe represents both. And it's a problem chronologically, obviously, because Yaakov is Tiferes. Then we should have Yosef coming next, because Yaakov gave over to Yosef, but it doesn't work that way. It's Yaakov, then Moshe, in parentheses, Aaron, and then Yosef. So how does that work? How does that? How do the spheros correspond with their personas to the chronology with its actual people? So that's the Zohar Kodesh is going to deal with here. Uh, Yaakov married the Besa. Yaakov is the master of the house. What's the house? We have many references to that. The Kabbalah speak at great length about the different aspects of Zer Anpin here, but for our purposes, I'm going to say the bias here is the Hashras Shechina in the world, bringing down the Shechina of the world, right? Yaakov called bias, right? Yaakov called the Beis Hamikdash bias. He brought, by Avram it was a har, by Yitzchak was a sada. They were not permanent. By Yaakov, once the Avos reached their completion, became a bias. It became Shechina in this world. So Yaakov was the first one to bring the Shekhinah down here in the world in a significant way as a house. Mis Yaakov. When Yaakov dies, Natam Moshe Besa. So the next one to take the house, was the one to bring Shekhinah into this world, is Moshe. Because after Midah of Tiferes comes a man, Midos of Netzach and Hod. But he didn't come yet. Right? Obviously, chronologically. Umanele b'chayev Yosef al yedei Yaakov. Yeah, let's break that down. Yaakov appointed Yosef during his lifetime. The Yaakov Moshe have a tzaddik Yaakov. By Yaakov and Moshe together represent the tzaddik, which of course Yosef was a tzaddik. But this aspect of Moshe, even though Moshe is not yet alive, right? There is no Moshe yet, but there has to be some sort of transfer from Yaakov to Yosef of this midah of tzaddik. And how did this happen? By the midah of Moshe it being extant, even though it wasn't actually personified yet in Moshe Rabbeinu, which comes much later on. Reb Tzadok speaks about this connection between Yaakov and Moshe in many places. One of them is in Parshat Vayeshev, which happens to be this week's parsha when we're doing the Zohar Kodesh in Tafshin Pei Hey. So it says there, and they also speaks about Yosef as well, but we'll get that later. But he says, quoting from Pshat Vayeshev Osiv Gimel, Chol Tibu Chol Nehiru. This is from the Kunei Zohar. Naked Yaakov Moshe Shem Gamkin Echad. Yaakov Moshe one Moshe Amru the Tikunei Zohar Yaakov Chule Misitra Misitra Levar Moshe Tamon Ava El Misitra Delagav. So the Yaakov is on the outside and Moshe is on the inside. See Moshe Vatero Soki Tovu. It says by Moshe she saw him that she was good. Bisa B'Shoshon Moshe and Ismail Bayis Kula Or. When Moshe came down, the entire house became full of light. Vahainu, and this is interesting when the Gav here means inside the house. right? Mizmali habayis kulo or. Who built the house? Yaakov built the house, or the Besa, right? Who filled the house? Moshe Rabbeinu filled the house. Vayishri Torah Oretz. He brought Torah down to the world. For Oretz zeh Torah, to see the Torah or kitov. Torah is light, and light is good. Chen Yaakov os emes. Yaakov was emes. Emes zu Torah. That's all the good and all the illumination, right? This is the I'm not sure which is the good, which illumination, which is sounds like Moshe is Tov, and Yaakov is the or, but the or is Tov, so it sounds like both going Moshe Rabbeinu. But in any event, the point is that the idea is that Emes and Torah are two sides of the same thing. So Moshe Rabbeinu was would be eventually the Torah, which is a manifestation of the Emes, which Yaakov brings down to the world. And I think that the Parshas Vayishlach, when it says that Vayichan it's bnei Ir, and Yaakov Avinu was made Erev Tchumen, that Chazal are telling us that Moshe Yaakov Avinu, at least in potential, brought down Torah to the world, even the Rabbanans, even Erev Tchumen, and everything has to do with Emes, because Torah is a manifestation of Emes. So Emes and Torah are two sides of the same coin. And even though by the time of Yaakov, Torah was not yet revealed to the world, it was there in the potentiality of Emes. Okay, so therefore, then when it says that Moshe, Yaakov Moshe have a tzaddik, since Yosef and Yaakov and Moshe together represent this Emes and Torah, so then there was the potentiality now for there to be tzaddikim in the world, meaning for there to be a shefa brought down into the world, and that shefa is represented by Yosef Nata Besa. For Yosef now to take the bais, in other words, we have the Emes, we have the Torah. Now Yosef can be the person who actually functions with this Emes and Torah and confronts the world and brings down the bracha to the world, which is tzaddik, which is the job of the tzaddik in the world. To see Ela Todos Yaakov Yosef. And Moshe lo shimesh bo adinata Yosef. Moshe was not able to serve as what he was until he took Yosef. And the Atzmos Yosef, the bones of Yosef. Kanafcha Shchinta Mikolusa. When the Shechina comes out of Golus, out of Mitzrayim, and is now supposed to be brought to its full fruition at Har Sinai, so then Yosef. It's not possible for that to occur, but except with Yosef being part of it. Moshe Yosef imo, right? Amai ksiv imo. Why did it say with him specifically? Ela gufa lo is davik benukva. The body cannot unite with the feminine. Adis davik bahade bris, until it's connected with the bris. And this is a fascinating concept, which I think I'm going to leave for tomorrow. There is the union between the guf, which is the in this case the Shechina, Kaviyachol, so Mishalim, the Shechina, and with the Nukva, with the feminine, which is the Malchus. This doesn't happen without the Bris, which is Yosef, in the middle. So Yaakov, Moshe, and parentheses Aaron, can't connect to the Malchus without Yosef, Imo. Okay, well, it's a very powerful idea. We'll leave the discussion for tomorrow.